say that to the people.
You got me on.
Yeah, so finally.
This is like Oprah, man.
We got some memories to tell.
Bruh, I'm telling you, man.
This was before the transfer portal.
This is before the transfer portal, so you know, I'm doing real work. Like, just so many different, like, connections. She found me again at the bus lane, was like, no, can I have your number? To
Hey,
the grandparents.
go out to the country
That's
real
it.
quick.
3 years old.
3 years old?
Yeah.
You met your wife at 3 years
3
old?
years old.
Let me tell you how I met his wife. So,
Oh, I gotta hear this. Wait, do I know this story? It's crazy, man. Yeah. Yeah, let me go ahead and get a little sip myself. Like, dang, I remember you was in the other, like, the apartment. Like,
that apartment like 430 square feet. You walk in there, you like. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Corey. I'm back again with another Real Talk Conversations with my boy Jordan. And me and Jordan met when I first moved to Atlanta. Actually, the second person I ever met when I moved here to Atlanta. So you know we got the stories. We got challenges. We've been working together in the same org. Like we've been doing it up in the city. So happy to have him finally on the channel. This is way overdue. But I do want to give Jordan a chance to introduce himself real quick before we hop into the video. So Jordan, tell him what you about, who you is, where you from, what you do.
yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on. This is, like you said, a long time coming. It's been, maybe about 3-4 years now?
Since when?
Since, like, you moved here?
No, it's been about 5 or 6.
Bruh, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is way past.
Oh, you
due.
mean Atlanta in this house?
In this house.
Oh, yeah, 3 years.
3 years.
I thought
Okay,
you meant
okay.
Atlanta.
Yeah, no, I knew that.
Nah, boy.
Okay, nah. But, like, yeah, I'm happy to be on, bro. I appreciate you thinking of me and having me on. But yeah, like you said, known you for a minute. Worked at the same organization.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
born and raised here in the Atlanta area. And
The original ATA leader.
Original ATL, man, you know, so we gonna represent East Side, is the best side.
You can hear it in the voice too.
Nah, for real. So, but yeah, working talent strategy. Like you said, we worked at the same organization. I'm still at that organization, so you know, I know we got some stories to tell, but probably can't get too crazy.
We ain't gonna
with
get
it.
too deep with it. We ain't gonna get too deep with it. Nah.
But yeah, same company, working in talent strategy. We were both in recruiting at one point together.
Yes, sir.
Doing the good work, trying to
Doing
get these
great
people, you know, opportunities.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm excited to chop it up with you, man.
Appreciate to have you here, man.
Yes, sir.
So we just gonna jump into it, you know what I'm saying? As we always do on this channel and on our Real Talk Conversations. I always like to give my people their flowers. So I'm gonna give you your flowers first, and then we gonna hop into it.
Oh man.
So when it comes to Jordan, you know, I don't know if you remember, but Crystal introduced us, and then we met for like coffee or something.
Oh yeah. I know the whole story.
Yeah. We met for like coffee at a little shop. I
Yeah.
forgot where we was at because I was new to the city. I just pulled up to the address, and to see how far we've done, and you done came from that point to now is phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? And anytime I can connect with another black brother doing great things, positive mentality, I don't know no dirt on this man. Clean from my point of view. But,
Yeah.
you know, always try to surround myself with positive people. And you've always been positive, always been uplifting. You look out when you can. And then ever since that time we met up at the coffee spot, what you would drive a little old school thing, ain't it?
Yeah. I had my mom's car back there.
Yeah,
you know,
he
so
was
we
a-
don't upgrade.
He
you
done
know,
up, like he was a
You
little.
know.
I was like, oh shoot. But it's been love, man. So I appreciate you for coming on.
Oh,
I
yeah.
appreciate you for looking out when you can.
Oh, yeah.
And we gonna talk about some of that stuff, but just want to give you your flowers because I feel like these days and times you got to be around people that's kind of like like-minded, equally yoked. You know, have the mentality to help you grow and hold you accountable.
Yeah.
You don't want to be around people that's gonna have you doing the wrong things and things like that. So
100%.
I put him in that circle. Jumping into about you and your story, I know you originally were you born in Conyers?
So
Or what? How that happened?
So born and raised in DeKalb County.
Okay.
Evans Mill Road, right by Rock Chapel. That's like
Okay.
over kind of like a little closer to Stone Mountain area.
Yeah.
But I lived there till I was about 7 years old.
Okay.
And then we moved to Conyers.
Okay.
You know, grew up playing sports, baseball, soccer, basketball, all that. You know,
We
was
gotta
kind
get him
of.
on the court soon.
Oh yeah, we gotta get on the court. That's for sure. Because I see you in the men's league. I've been waiting for the call up. You know, I'm in the G League right now, but I'm waiting for the call
I'll
up.
introduce you to the 6 a.m. league first, because we playing at 6 a.m.
Oh yeah, so no, I'm good with that. I'm good at 6. Yeah, you gotta let my legs wake up first.
You gonna be out there.
But 9 o'clock, that's about my time.
Okay.
But born and raised on that side, I moved to Conyers when I was about 7 years old. And then my family is actually still there. My parents, they still live in the same house.
Okay.
We grew up in, went to elementary school, middle school, and high school out in Conyers. And then ultimately left to go to college after that. So, yeah.
So you said you moved from Atlanta around when you were 7.
Yeah.
And then you end up in Conyers, which is a totally different feel from being like in Atlanta.
Yeah, 100%.
So
yeah.
Walk me through how you, like, especially being 7, you can remember stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like you can remember like a difference in environment and things like that. Conyers, I would say it's like a suburb, kind of like, you know, like suburban living.
Well, back then it was definitely like suburban living. Now it get real out there in Conyers, bro.
It get real.
Hey, bro, I tell you, it's a whole nother vibe, bro. Like, it's very different than when I first moved out there. When I first moved out, it was predominantly like, it was really country. Like there weren't a lot of houses. Like even have some dirt roads out there, bro. Wow. Like you, like literally probably a block away, you got people with horses out in the yard. Like it's country, you know what I'm saying? But it's still a good proximity to the city. Like it only, you know, with no traffic, you can get to Atlanta in about 35 minutes.
Right.
But yeah, it was different than growing up in, you know, like the Stone Mountain, DeKalb County area. But when I was, throughout my entire life though, I did a lot of like activities in Atlanta, like in the city, like, you know, I went to school and I went to private school in, you know, closer to the city. I went to Green Forest. Before I went and moved to Conyers. So that was really like, it was different because I'm growing up in a predominantly black neighborhood, black environment. Everyone like looks the same.
That's fact.
And then when you move to Conyers, now I'm the only black kid in the class, you know, and you know, that comes with its own different set of challenges, even though the area may have been a little bit more safer, more diverse. You know, I still felt, you know, kind of like as an outcast in a sense, you know. So
let's talk a little bit about your ties to South Carolina, because y'all know I'm from South Carolina, born and raised, Sumter County, Sumter, South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? But you have ties to South Carolina. I'm trying to get him to come to a USC homecoming. A USC homecoming is unmatched in the South.
I know.
I'm trying to tell you.
I know.
But, so tell me a little bit about your ties to South Carolina.
Yeah, so Columbia, South Carolina specifically. Where the Gamecocks home and bred. That's where my dad is from. All of his family members are still there. So I spent a lot of time in Columbia. My grandmother lives in Columbia right now. My great grandmother lived in Columbia till she passed away, but she lived to be 104. So I was always in Columbia, South Carolina. One thing about Columbia, I know it's always hot. Boy,
it's known for famously hot.
I don't know what it is. Like it's like the concrete. I'm like, God. I'm like, man, as soon as you hit the line going in South Carolina, it's like the heat go up, man.
Yeah, man.
So
I'm glad you know.
Nah, it ain't no joke, bro.
And the humidity.
Yeah.
You go out there.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, Columbia is, you know, second home, and then my mother's side, my mom's side is from Florence. So that's a whole nother vibe. So I got Columbia, and then I got Florence. You know, so both my parents from South Carolina, all my family members from South Carolina. So
I knew both.
Yeah, both of them.
Really?
So we be out there.
You know, I know about the Flow Town.
You know Flow Town?
I know about the Flow Town too.
Man, look.
A little close to Myrtle Beach, but not the beach. You know?
But my mom's side is very different because she lives on like a family road. So like all my aunts, uncles
on the same
street, all cousins, everybody. The road is actually named after my grandfather, Thomas. So it's called Thomas Road. And everybody lives on that street, bro.
So it's like a one-stop shop.
One-stop shop.
You can't hit one without hitting all.
Yeah, but don't go too far because you ain't no street lights. It's just darkness at night. So you gotta know where you're going.
Did you used to go like Myrtle Beach and stuff?
Oh yeah, love Myrtle Beach. Yeah. They got all the outlets out there now.
He know. I love people that know about South Carolina.
Oh yeah.
You know, where I'm from, when I go somewhere else, they be like, South Carolina, I only drove through there. I ain't never stopped. Maybe to get gas. I don't know nothing about Columbia.
Yeah.
We got a prominent university too, Clemson and USC, and people still don't be knowing what be going on in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So
I done been to a Clemson game. I gotta get to USC.
yeah,
I done been to a Clemson football game. I gotta get to USC.
Is your dad a Gamecock fan?
Nah, well, he's a fan, but he didn't go to. He went to the military.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least he support the Gamecock.
Oh, yeah.
Because in South Carolina, you either Clemson or South Carolina.
Yeah, that's it.
As long as he on the Gamecock side, we cool.
That's it.
We cool. It's a big rivalry in between the two.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we gotta get you to a USC game, man.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I literally done been to all the little, like the bars that's right around USC.
5 Points in them.
My dad went to Dreer High School. Yeah. So I'm telling you, like I'm second home, bro.
That's crazy, bro. That is crazy. When I coached middle school, I coach a girls middle school team, and their trajectory was Dreer. So
Okay.
I don't play at Dreer, so I used to go to those games sometimes.
And Dreer for real with the basketball, it's legendary out there. Yeah.
Dang, that is crazy. I did not know that, bro.
Yeah.
So technically, you possibly could have been born in South Carolina. You might as well say you,
bruh, technically, bruh, like, I done went to summer camp out there.
See,
my folks would just ship me every summer. They just ship me to the grandparents.
You need to go out to the country
That's
real quick. To get
Well, I be crying all the way there.
Ain't nothing to do out there.
Bruh, I'm telling you, bruh. It's just hot.
Hot.
That's the worst part.
Nothing but space and opportunity for you to run around. I don't meet too many people that know about South Carolina for real.
Yeah.
And you know about South Carolina for real.
For real, bro.
You know where we come from, so that's good. I met Jordan through a mutual friend. So as y'all know, if y'all watch this channel a lot, when I first moved to Atlanta, my first job was a contractor at Deloitte. I met a young lady named Crystal, and Crystal just happened to know Jordan, and that's how I got introduced to Jordan. But Crystal knew Jordan for years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the story goes, we both was contractors at Deloitte, me and Crystal. Crystal, you know, as a contractor, you on edge. You like, I don't know if I'm gonna come back. I don't know if I'm gonna get a job. The contract going in about a couple of months. I don't know what to do. Yeah. So Crystal, we always just scrambling, making sure that we had opportunities. She was like, yeah, my friend Jordan hit me up. He worked at Accenture, said it's his opportunity, but I don't think I want to leave yet. I said, you don't want to leave yet? Shoot, connect me with Jordan, because I'm trying to get the hell up out of here. So that's when she was like, well, since I don't want to, So that's how I ended up getting connected to him. I was like, all right, bet, let's just meet for lunch or something. You tell me a little bit about it. Boom. And that's how I met Jordan. And then we met up at that spot, and it's been history.
Man, I'm telling you, it really is like the power of like relationships and just connections, man. Like you said, just hit up Crystal. Like I was a contractor at the time too.
Oh, you was? Yeah. But you was getting another role.
I was getting a new role.
But you had the opportunity to take one or the other.
Yeah, one or the other. So
that's the perfect position to be in.
Perfect, boy.
He was like, I can choose which one I want. He was like, you know something? Nah, I ain't trying to deal with that, but I'm going to go over here.
Hey, and then look, based off of your experience, it sounds like I've chose right.
Yeah. He definitely chose right, boy. I was like, no wonder Jordan was like, yeah, Chris, you want this one? Because I'm going to take this one.
I hit up Crystal because I was like, man, it's this opportunity, and it sounded like a really good opportunity, right? Like just on paper, like you get to work with HBCUs, you're gonna, have a lead recruiting role. Cool, everything cool. The lead is, a black woman, and very like a great advocate and all of that.
She was very great.
Then so we connected, got lunch or breakfast, and it was great to like meet another black male in the recruiter space because it's not a lot of us, so
it's not a lot of men, and it's definitely not a lot of black men.
Yeah. So that was like just dope to like build a new connection through Crystal and her knowing you, and I think right from the jump like we kind of hit it off. I think we both felt like a good sense of like who we both were, like good, solid brothers. So
for real.
You took the opportunity and I mean, killed the interview, got the role. And then next thing you know, we in the trenches together. And then I think you might have pinged me with like, the lead gone.
I sure did. I was like, yo, she gone.
Yeah,
bro.
like
I wanted to hire me.
Right when you started, really.
Like literally 4 months.
4 months after you started, yeah. So that was that was a tough situation. Obviously, like you transition into a new role and then you're leaving. But, I think at the end of the day, right, I think, you learned a lot from Accenture and was able to take that experience to move into what you ultimately in now, which is like great, so.
Right.
That's just a note for y'all. Every experience, take advantage, good or the bad, and take advantage of it and make it work.
Yeah. And then when I started, I was like, let me see what Team Jordan on. I'm like, this seems like a cool behind team. But the key to like a lot of success is having a manager that's gonna vouch for you.
Yeah.
And I could say your manager at the time.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let nobody cross you, boy.
Yeah, she wouldn't.
And she would make sure that you had either opportunities or she'll make sure that you was visible.
Yeah.
And I think as a black man in corporate America, at any company, if your manager don't allow you to be visible or even put you in a position to be visible, you just get.
Yeah.
Even if you start etching at it, your manager got to be the one to be like, I'm putting you here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you.
Yeah. No, I was very fortunate to have that support and have a manager that really advocated for me. She really believed in me because honestly, like the role that she gave, like the role that I ended up being in, technically I wasn't qualified for. Like there had been recruiters who had been doing it a lot longer,
right? Who
probably should have had gotten that opportunity.
Because you was over conferences and stuff, right?
Yeah, I was over like all of like our NSBE conferences. I managed like a big, like some of our like primary like diversity partnerships, like MLT, SEO, and like you said, I got a lot of visibility to senior leadership, which ultimately allowed me to get more opportunities and get promotions and, all of this stuff that, we want as professionals. And which is why I'm still there today. Like, I feel like, honestly, it's kind of a little bit of luck of the draw too,
that's very true.
Yeah. It's like, you really just kind of, hope for the best in these situations, but I've been fortunate to have good leadership, in all of my roles thus far. So, yeah.
That was a time, man. I was like, dang, he in the sweet spot, boy, sitting high as heck. And then I was over there like, dang, I gotta figure something out because I can't get no visibility.
Yeah.
Then my new lead is just like expecting me to know stuff, but I'm new, so I'm still learning at the same time. So then I'm like, is there any room to make a mistake?
Yeah.
And I make a mistake, then that's held against me because I'm still learning. I'm like, I'm just coming off a contractor role.
Yeah.
I'm learning the role as I go.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. I'm like, I need somebody that's gonna support me and help help me thrive or something. Give me some training or something.
That's bro. I'm telling you, man, I felt so bad for you, bro. I felt bad, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to you. I felt bad for my boy, man. I'm like, dang, I done brought this man here, man. They doing my boy so crazy. But
and the team I was working with, they was heavy.
Yeah, they was heavy, bro.
They was heavy, bro.
But I will say this about you, Corey. You handled it very professionally.
Oh yeah, always, man.
You really did a great job, like communicating, like what you needed, and what your expectations of their leadership was. At the end of the day, like that's all we can do, and you just have to kind of keep navigating it. And I think you did that. Like you would take on different roles, and every role you took on that it gave you, you did it to the best of your ability. So that's all we can do, man. And but I think that like the skill set of just being able to pivot, like now you have like you built that strength, like that muscle. Right. And like I feel like that has gone with you to where you at now at Google and like and you killing it at Google, bro.
Hey man, I've been doing it, and I think that's the thing with like recruiting. You got to be in a recruiting position that allows you to be expert in your field.
Yes.
If you have a group or anybody that you're technically almost like managing, but they feel like they have more power to override what you say, or they want to process and go a certain way, or they this and that, and they nag to somebody else and it has to change because it's hard to do your job because you're supposed to be the recruiting expert.
Yeah.
Everybody else could be the expert in their own area.
Yeah.
But you the recruiting expert. You know about the interviews, what need to happen, compliance and all that.
Yeah.
And if you going based off what the rules say, but then they go nag to somebody and they be like, oh no, this could happen. It's like, what I'm supposed to do as a recruiter?
No.
I'm just what this
is. Recruiting is a tough position to be in, bro. Like it's so much. It's
Politics. Every single time.
Politics. And you got to think, a lot of recruiters are all doing the same thing. So what can you do to like stand out? You know, like these, especially like big organizations like a Google or Accenture or Deloitte, there's like hundreds of recruiters, you know?
Hundreds.
So
doing
you
the
have
same exact thing.
doing the same thing. So you have to like find a way to like really stand out and, you know, showcase yourself so that you can keep getting new opportunities to, you know, advance. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up getting the role at Google, because I was able to translate, like working with stakeholders.
Yeah.
So we was working with managing directors and everything to get them on campus, to organize this, to have debriefings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it gave me a lot of exposure to organize and work with, build cross-functional partners.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they was like, oh, well, shoot,
we plug you in right now.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, that's real.
So that did help. So let's go back a little bit because I forgot to ask, you know, Jordan is married. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, happily married.
He is about to be a father. You know what I'm saying?
God is good.
So I'm be learning from him. Come soon. But, you know, I know you've met your wife at a very, very early age.
Yeah.
What age did you meet her?
Oh, when I meet her?
Like, when did y'all meet as, like, I don't know if y'all was kids, teens? Like, when did
3 years old.
3 years old?
Yeah.
You met your wife at 3 years old?
3 years old, bro. We was in the same school, same
That's the ultimate
preschool, same preschool. We in the yearbook together, no teeth and all.
What?
Yeah, yeah. It's really crazy, bro.
Gee.
Like, it just shows you, like,
That is crazy.
God really be putting you in places that you don't even realize that He's putting you in.
So if you met her in preschool, when did y'all like connect in a way where y'all became friends? Was it preschool then?
Nah.
Like, was y'all in the sandbox? Like,
So we wasn't, well, we would be at, you know, at the playground and
Yeah.
stuff, but I don't even remember all of that.
Right.
I remember, so when we officially like started connecting was, like I said, we went to the same preschool. Like I said, I moved, so I didn't go to that school anymore. She also went to a different private school. And then I was in public school in Conyers.
Okay.
At Davis Middle School. And I was, you know, like I said, I had been there. Her family had moved probably about 2 miles from my house. And
Hold on.
now, yeah.
So both of y'all was in DeKalb.
Both of us went to school in DeKalb.
And then she eventually moved close to you.
She eventually moved. When I moved to Conyers, it was probably about 6 years later, her family moved to Conyers.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So now we're in middle school. Now we're in the same middle school. We aren't, you know, we don't interact. We know of each other, you know.
Right.
We both play sports and stuff like that. So we knew each other. But we didn't start actually like dating until like our freshman year of high school. So that's when we like became a couple, was like freshman year of high school, started dating, and dated all the way through high school. It's crazy, man. Yeah. Yeah, let me go ahead and get a little sip myself.
Like, that's the ultimate love story. You meet your wife in preschool, fast forward, and then y'all get together freshman year of high school, and then you navigate high school, and you navigate college, and then you navigate the real world. Like, y'all literally seen each other grow up.
Yeah, no, it's really, it's been special, man, because like you said, like being able to see each other grow, and you know, like high school and college are like very pivotal moments in your life where you are like developing your personality, like your interests, like who you are as a person, and that changes so much. So like being able to like still have an interest in each other through all of that is like, that's how you kind of know like it's meant to be. You know what I'm saying? Like for us to have gone through all of these different periods in our lives and, you know, still find ourselves like wanting to be with each other, that's when it's like, all right, yeah, this the person.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then also like y'all didn't go to the same college.
Nah.
So you had to navigate like being away.
Yeah.
Depending on what the distance was. Because she went to Rutgers and you went to Mount Bowie.
So crazy. So this is something you probably might not know about me either. So my first year, so for all y'all out there, I went to college my first year at Georgia Southwestern in Americus, Georgia.
Okay.
So I got a scholarship, played baseball there for a year. I didn't really like the school. So I ended up transferring to a technical, a JUCO in Delaware.
Okay.
So I went to Delaware Technical College for 1 year
Okay.
as a sophomore, and then I transferred out of there to go to Maryland Eastern Shore.
This is before the transfer portal.
This is before the transfer portal, so I'm doing real work.
You do that real work.
Like I'm over here calling coaches like, hey,
I'm gonna get that player time right.
So long story short, like I said, I end up at Maryland Eastern Shore. She's at Rutgers, so she gets a track scholarship to Rutgers, and she's there throughout her entire 5 years. So we both end up doing 5 years of college. And yeah, like, I mean, college was like probably the most difficult time of our relationship. Like there was just, there was a little bit of periods of on and off, but for the most part, we like, stayed solid. And, I think
you had to allow each other space to
like I said, so much growing in that time, and like not being around each other, I think was like really valuable and like needed to help us just find our identities. And like then we were able to, like, after college, come together and like really like prosper and take off as a couple. So so yeah, it ended up being like it. I think everything that we've gone through has had its purpose and has benefited us to this point now.
That's solid, man. That's so solid. How often did you used to go to the campus, like, to visit her? Like, what was that like?
It would just depend, bro. Like, it really just depend. My freshman year, like I said, I was in Georgia, so I'd never seen her. Delaware, like my sophomore year, I was there frequently. And then, my junior to senior and then super senior year, it would just be kind of sporadically, like, because we both were athletes. So it was like,
you had a busy schedule.
Like seeing each other wasn't really like a thing. We just communicated and, holidays and stuff, reconnect. So, I would try she didn't have a car either. So it was on me.
Yeah, it was on you.
So, I did what I had to do. But,
so did y'all go to colleges like, we are going to be together throughout college? Did y'all like, we just gonna find ourselves back, but we just gonna make sure that we locked in? Like, how, like,
we went into college like, locked in. We gonna make it work. But obviously there's like doubts, especially like when she was like, I'm going to Rutgers. I'm like, Rutgers? Where that's at? How far?
Right.
So, it was like, we was like hopeless romantics, thinking that, it was going to be easy. It wasn't easy at all. But, I think, like I said, God just, if it's meant to be, it's going to be. What I'm saying? So
you will see it through.
That's it. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, that's a blessing, man. And to see them now, and then just hearing the story from preschool, man. That's quite the journey.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
That's quite the journey. The patience, everything. Like, I gotta commend you on that, man.
Now she gonna probably be mad at me. I told her story, but at first I asked her out. She rejected me because she was talking to somebody else.
Oh, when y'all got together in high school?
When we got together in high school.
What happened?
So I wanted to, I was like, I went up to her. I'm like, I'm trying to talk to you. What's good? She's like, I'm already talking to somebody, so I can't right now. I'm like, but he ain't me.
But she said right now.
Yes, that's true.
Some people be like, I can't talk.
I'm
with somebody, but she said, I can't talk right now. So she must have known.
She knew what it was.
Yeah,
she didn't want to be that girl to be like, I'm just dip on this dude and go to the next. But
she knew.
She knew what it was. It was me.
She knew she was looking at you, and you finally, took the step to be like, And then she was like, dang, I'm talking to somebody. But right now.
She right now. She had to make that. She had to make that known. Like, so I kind of knew what it was. I waited my turn, just chilled out. I let her do a thing, and when that was done, I was like, okay, Yeah, I didn't even go back, I had to play it cool, so
he ain't went straight back.
I ain't had to go straight back because I had to play it cool.
He had to be played with.
Got to.
That's how you got to be, man.
Got to keep it P at all times, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all note that. Keep it P at all times. Yeah. She came back to me. Woo! So I'm at the lunch. I'm in the lunchroom. I'm in the line.
Not in the lunchroom.
That's when everything gets popped off at. You know what I'm saying? The lunchroom, that's when everything pop off. Look, she found me in the line, bro.
Ooh, okay. She just walked up.
Just walked up to me and was like, and then she tried to blame it on her mom. Like, hey, my mom wants your mom's number. I was like, okay.
For what?
You know what I'm saying?
Why?
For what? Come on now.
Your mama knew her mom at the time,
She did. They do.
But they just ain't.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know what they needed Thomas
Okay.
exchange for because they probably already had each other. No, but
yeah.
that's her story. I'm gonna.
We gotta get home here to let her tell.
Yeah. So, yeah, she did the lunchroom thing, and I said, okay, I gave her my mom number, and I said, all right, nice seeing you. Kept it moving. Later that day, what's the next spot? You know, the next spot it always pop off at the bus lane.
Ooh.
You know, it go down in the bus lane.
Go
So
down in the bus
she
lane.
found me again at the bus lane. Was like, no, can I have your number?
So she don't revert back from the mama number, and then she just came up and be like, "Can I have your number?"
Yeah.
Wow,
That's what it was.
that's keeping it P.
You know, you gotta
keeping
keep
it P.
it all time.
All the time. So then from there, you was like, "All right, cool." Then y'all started.
That's when we got locked in.
Boy, I bet you felt good, boy.
Yeah, I felt good. That was a day, boy.
Ain't nothing like when the women come to you, boy.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing like that
Man,
feeling. If
I'll
y'all
try.
ain't never had a woman come up to you, man, I feel sorry.
Yeah,
But
I don't know what to
it's
say.
a good feeling.
Yeah,
so
you
she
feel
came
real
up,
good
you in
going
that bus
home.
line, like, all right.
From there, it was smooth sailing. From there, man. You know,
Wow.
homecoming. We did the homecoming court stuff.
Okay.
We was voted what's the senior superlatives.
Yeah.
We was most likely to
Get married.
yeah, something like that.
And they married.
Prom, king and queen.
Sheesh, y'all did the whole nine
we
yards.
did the whole
and
thing.
still keeping it going.
Still going, bro. So it's,
That is sick,
God.
man.
God is
That
good.
is God is good, man. This man met his wife in preschool, bro. I can't even remember half the people I met in preschool, and if I ever encountered them ever again, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, in third grade, I had a girlfriend, and then in high school, I doubled back because she was at a different high school, something to how I was at Lakewood.
Yeah.
And we tried to date a little bit, but she went crazy, so I couldn't. she got addicted to she had broke her arm at the skating rink, and she had to take some painkillers.
Oh, no.
Got addicted to the painkillers.
No.
So I had to abort that mission. But I tried to make it happen.
Boy, Corey, you got some stories
Yeah,
about
man.
some women, man.
Yeah, man, I
Lord
do.
have mercy.
Speaking of, let me tell you how I met his wife. So
Oh, I gotta hear this. Wait, do I know this story?
yeah.
Okay.
So, because I met your wife before you introduced her.
I'm blanking on
okay,
this,
well,
bro.
I'm gonna tell the story.
Yeah.
So, I'm here in Atlanta, boom, 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 and I end up linking with some women that went to the Rutgers University.
Okay.
I guess they ran track with your wife or something like that.
Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't forgot about all of
Yeah.
that. Okay.
So
okay.
ran track. So they end up in Atlanta. I was like, all right, bet. Like, if y'all going somewhere, let me know. Blah. I got my friends here, so we all can just go out, have a good time. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't know who the girl was bringing with her other than her sister. She came, and it was all her friends.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, my little apartment can't hold on. They all came in. I'm introducing each other.
Oh my God.
Met
bruh.
she was your girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Met his girlfriend at the time, now wife. So we all talking, playing spades. Boom, 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 boom. Your girl came up and was like, yeah, my boyfriend on the way. It's like, boyfriend? We already got about 8 people in. I didn't know who.
We already wall to wall.
Yeah, we already wall to wall in the little behind living room. She's like, yeah, my boyfriend gonna come pick us up and we all gonna go here. Like, she calling the shots at this point. I'm like, all right, bet. I get a knock on the door, pop, pop, pop. I said, oh, that must be her boyfriend. I open the door. Joy, what you doing here? It's like, yo, my girl in there. I'm like, yo, girl? I'm like, who? Like, oh, wow. That's
Boy,
crazy.
That's crazy, but I forgot this whole story.
Yes,
but
bruh.
now you saying I remember like it was yesterday.
I met Elena before you introduced
I
me to
remember
her.
you opened the door, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, hold
I was
up.
like,
What's
what?
going on here?
So then, we went down. We went to Hole in the Wall at the time.
Was that-
That's what-
okay.
Yeah, we went to
Yeah,
Hole in the Wall.
yeah,
we all
we
went to
did.
Hole in the Wall,
Yeah.
having a good time on the dance floor, yada, yada, yada.
Hole in the Wall used to be the spot. It
Right.
used to be the
It
spot.
used to be the spot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All us was together having a good time. So we up in the middle of the dance floor, get it, bow, bow, bow. The girls said they had to go to the bathroom, so all us fellas was like, all right, cool, we gonna hold it down right here.
Yeah.
They went to go to the bathroom, and then She Got a Donk came on by Soulja Boy.
Yes, sir.
This girl ran, stopped the movement to go to the bathroom, ran, came back. It's like, oh no, we got to dance on this. I said, yeah, that's
That
his,
East Atlanta love, boy.
yeah, I said that's his wife right there.
Gotta be.
That's love right
She knew
there.
that was my song.
Yeah,
You know, that anthem, come on, you gotta find the person. Come
I
on
said,
now.
yo,
This ain't no game.
she came back, gave that man a dance, and then went to the back. I said, yeah, that's locked in right now. I need somebody like
She's
that.
solid. She's solid.
That was-
She's solid.
But yeah, that's how I met his wife. I said, wow, small world.
Bro, that is crazy though.
Yeah.
That is really crazy. Like the chances.
The chances.
Yeah.
I ain't even know.
The one of the girls, and I believe they might have been twins, right?
Yes.
Both of them, I think, were Atlanta's roommate. So it wasn't even just friends. It was like they were roommates
That's
in
crazy.
school. So yeah.
That is
Yeah.
that is crazy.
Life,
bro.
man. It's crazy.
That is crazy. And it just all went from like a casual conversation on Instagram with her roommates. They was like, yeah, we coming to Atlanta. What's going on? I was like, yada, yada, yada. Y'all come over pregame before y'all go somewhere. If y'all want to come with us somewhere cool,
Yeah.
it is what it is. And they was like, all right, cool. And then I was like,
That's
wow.
it. That's it.
I was like, I never would have thought I would have met his wife that way. But that's crazy.
I didn't even get a chance to introduce y'all.
Right.
Like,
It just happened.
it just happened.
But that's crazy. That shows you how much people are connected,
Yeah.
and everybody knows somebody that knows somebody who knows somebody that you might know. So
Facts.
yeah, watch how you move out there. I know that you are going to be a father soon, my boy.
Yes.
Tell me how you been preparing. How you feel? What's the mentality? Walk us through the process of like, dang, I'm about to be a full dad out here. I see you in the gym. You getting ready to protect the family.
I'm in the gym, man.
You getting ready to protect the
I
family.
have a girl on the way.
Yeah.
Got
Oh.
a girl on the way.
See,
So I'm,
Yeah.
I'm really trying to make sure my mental is good, man. I'm
Well,
trying
I'ma
to
tell you
prepare
now.
myself.
whenever she get to high school and that first guy she bring over, you need us to be
Oh yeah, we gonna be in there, yeah, like bad boy.
Soon as open the door. What's up?
No, fat, bro.
I'll pull up.
I'm telling you, no, we gonna need it, man. We gotta take some village.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I've been just trying to like prepare myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. Really, on the spiritual side, like, just really trying to become more consistent, going to church, being more intentional with like, just really like committing myself to having just more faith in God.
Yes.
I'm one of those people that like, I'm like a make it happen type of person. Like if I want to do something, I'm just gonna make it happen, even if it may not necessarily be for me. Like I want to make it happen so bad. Like it kind of feels like it's forced a little bit.
Gotcha.
And when I'm unable to make it happen in the way that I want, it kind of like I feel like anxious, So that wasn't like really like physically good for me, mentally good for me. Like I was like not depressed, but like I definitely like felt like not well,
Right.
So
I got you.
so I just really had to like let a lot of things go and just start like giving myself to God and just letting, trusting in whatever's for me is for me. And that has done just wonders for me and my mental health. So
Okay.
that's meant spiritually on that end, like I said, being more consistent, more intentional, and then that also kind of touches on a little bit of the mental piece as well. And then physically, been just staying active, bro. Like,
Right.
this is the best I've felt physically since college, like since I've, been a collegiate athlete.
Yeah, you gonna have to run after that baby sometime.
Bruh,
You gotta be fit.
I'm telling you, bro, like that baby gonna be active, man.
Yeah,
So
you gotta keep up.
I'm telling you. So I've just, been, nowadays I'm like running. I try to get about 3 miles in a week, and I'm lifting about 3-4 times a week too. So I feel great. I'm excited. We really prayed for this. It wasn't an easy process for
I
us,
remember
which was, like I said, another thing that was like I had to really just give like myself to God and just really just say like, hey, whatever is for us is for us, and trust in that if we are meant to be parents, we will be.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm at that stage now. I'm just like, we're just so blessed. We're thankful. We're in a season of just gratitude, and our family is expanding. My brother, I have a younger brother who's 2 years younger than me. He's expecting.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
The one that worked at Ascension?
Yeah, he's still there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he's expecting. He's having a boy. They're about 6 weeks behind us.
Okay.
So our family is like really growing fast right now.
Fast.
So
expeditiously,
bro. Yeah. So we're just, we really at a good place.
What are you looking forward to the most, having a young daughter?
For me, looking forward to the most is helping like shape someone. You know what I mean? Like, this is like being a parent is like, you are truly like creating a human. You know what I mean? In the sense of like what their values are and how they show up in society, and like, that is something that I'm really excited about, to see like who she becomes and like the things that she'll accomplish. And just helping her navigate life, giving her more than what I may have, had coming up. And, I think the goal is for every generation to get better. My parents gave me and my brother everything. But we want to be able to continue that legacy and give our children everything and more, So, yeah.
At least this is my opinion. I feel like with boys, they harder up front, but easier
on the back
end. And then with girls, it's kind of easy up front because they shouldn't be jumping off the walls and stuff like that. Shouldn't be breaking too much stuff.
Yeah.
But on that back end,
it get
that's when the job really starts.
Yeah, I ain't thinking about that too much right now. Yeah,
we know how these guys be out here.
I know.
Man,
I know,
I'll
man.
be in somebody's jailhouse.
Bro, I'm telling you. What are your thoughts on children? Like, do you want children? Like,
yeah. I think I got a good one in me.
The one in you?
Yeah. Okay. I got a good.
Hey, man, I'm thinking that too.
Yeah,
like, I don't know.
It's just
one
with
or
the
two.
economy, man. If the economy was a little bit better, I'll be like, yeah, let's. But I feel like one right now for sure, unless for some ever reason I end up in a higher place than what I am now, I could see maybe two.
Maybe two. Yeah.
But financially, I think one I could do.
Because you want to be able to give your children the resources, right? Exactly. You don't want to like overextend yourself, and now it's like you can't give
what you want,
all of them the best. It's like you have to like just give them what you can, and it's like, as a parent, that just doesn't feel good, So
in the season now where it's time, man. It's time for to keep leveling up in life, building family, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the goal, So I'm glad that you started off for us.
I'm gonna let you know how it goes.
Yeah, let me know how it goes. Leftover strolls and stuff.
Oh yeah, I got
you. But I do think that it's cool seeing like friends get to that point in life and being able to like see like even at the baby shower, just witnessing like all the love and people pouring into y'all and the way it was organized, and whether people was giving solicited or unsolicited advice, it was there for all of us to kind of hear, So it's good to kind of see people in that phase of life. But I do want to say, I can't wait myself. I can't wait to see you be a father. I can't wait to see Elena be a mother. I can't wait to see y'all thriving as a family, because both of y'all have a good head on y'all shoulders. So
I appreciate it, bro. Truly, because it's a work in progress. Relationships is always a work in progress, but I do feel like Elaine and I are in a good place right now where we are ready to be parents. Because it's a selfless thing, you have to be 100% selfless when you have a child, or when you bring a child into the world. So I feel like we're at that point now where we're ready to like give up our freedom and like the things pour it into the child.
Gotcha. So my question now is, for the people out there that aspire to be married, like what do you feel like are some key things that helped you all thrive in your marriage? Like help you stay together, togetherness, stay put, locked in, not tiptoeing. Like what's the
and I feel like
sauce?
Man, I'm telling you, bro, and I feel like I'm gonna say a lot of what a lot of people already hear, but I truly like, this is just my perspective, genuinely, like communication, bro. You got to be able to communicate with each other. You got to know how your partner receives, information, how they receive criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a big one.
because you don't want your partner feeling attacked when you talk to them about like, hey, babe, like I would appreciate this. You know what I'm saying? Versus like, oh, this is what you don't do. You know, in our relationship. So communication is key. I think that is like the biggest thing, and we constantly are working on communication. I think that's like, again, relationships are just a never-ending cycle of just like development.
Right.
So communication, man, I think you want to create like time for you all, like, cause you know, bro, like you get busy, work, yo, extracurriculars, like things you do outside of work
Take away from
the relationship, and you gotta like invest time into the relationship. You know, take date nights. You know, just have fun with each other. Like, you know, that I think that really you have to be intentional about it, because you can easily like lose sight of it with just the hustle and, you know, of every day. So those are my main two, bruh. Man, if I could get one more, I'm trying to think, bro. One more like real key for relationships to last.
What you got for me?
I'm trying to think of a good one, bro. I think like as a married man, you do have to set boundaries with your friends and like, you know, like single friends that you have. There's a lot of things that I can no longer do just because, again, it's, you know, just you don't want to put yourself in positions to disrespect to be compromised, disrespect your wife. I think that is the biggest thing that I've learned over, you know, the 4 years that we've been married, just, you know, maturing to a point where I'm able to say, you know, as much as I would love to go out with y'all and like hang out and do all of this, like I just shouldn't, and so I won't, you know, so.
That's true.
That's the biggest thing.
Because I ain't gonna lie, when I worked at Accenture, I was out in the street sometime, and Joe be like, "Hey man, I was trying to go. What y'all doing this?" I was like, "Man, you don't want these problems, man. You don't want these problems." Because I tell you, when I would back then when I was going out, I was on the hunt.
Man, look, and you know, I really would like truly would want to like hang out with y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like truly, like because it's like and also when I got married, there was I mean, obviously now. It's still not as many married men, but back when I got married, it was I really didn't know anybody who was married. You know what I'm saying? So
true. and I had to be a little bit selfish because like I want Jordan to be in the spot, but I also don't want to compromise Jordan because it's gonna be some ladies around.
That's it.
And because you know, like when you with a group of women, it might be three of us, three of them. You know,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like now I'm sitting there looking.
So I didn't want to put him in that position. You know? So I was very particular about when I invited Jordan places because I didn't want to invite him to a place where he would have to, you know, step in a way that wasn't truthful to how he would normally step.
100%. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate that.
Some people don't give a damn. No,
you know. They'll just invite you out. My bad.
They would though. But
they invite you out, man, and you just be, you know.
Exactly.
Just
but even
crazy.
now, you know, since I've been in my relationship, I mean, I don't be in those streets, man. I'm going golfing, you know, I'm doing chill stuff.
Yeah, no, you definitely have turned a leaf. You turned a new leaf, man. I'm proud of you, bro.
Because when I first moved to Atlanta, I was like, I'm trying to go to a brunch. I'm trying to go.
You was outside.
Yeah, you know, experiencing the ATL life.
As you should.
Country boy that never been to the city.
From something to the A, boy, that's a big difference, bro. Boy, that's a big difference. That's a big difference. That's a big difference, bro.
So I was like, I gotta experience this.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. So I was like,
I don't blame you, man. I think you did it right. I think you did the right thing. Mm-hmm. You know, you had your fun. Now you found a solid woman that you can build with, grow with, and you know, you don't have no regrets. So that's it.
And that's why I always tell people, don't live life with regrets. Do as you please.
Yeah.
And you know, you don't want to get 60, 70, like, I should have did this when I worked at Accenture and I should have did this and I should. No, I want to look back and be like, I'm glad I did it then.
Yeah.
Because I don't want no parts of it now. Like, I don't want to be in those streets. I don't want to be talking. Like, I just want one. Facts. And, you know, it's very peaceful. So
facts, bro.
That's what it's all about.
And I'm glad, look, it's like now I feel like too, like with you in this phase of your life in a relationship, like now we're able to like do things together again, you know, like we went to the soiree together and with other couples and like it's nice to have other couples that you can like
Right.
hang out with, have fun with, talk about, life.
And trust.
And trust, yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
it's
can't
good
be with
couples
any
too.
Yeah, it's good
like,
couples.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't be with any
You can't be with any couple. You go out with them, and they start fighting, and you in the Uber together.
Right. You fight, Uber together.
And you just looking there sitting quiet like, oh, it's awkward. So
You still gotta weed out couples too.
Yeah, you do.
That's
You
part of
do.
the process too, because you want to be hanging with a couple, and then dude, hey, Joy, you try to switch. Like, what?
some weird.
Yeah,
it be,
some
bruh.
yeah,
and when I tell you, look, that has happened.
For real,
Bro, for real. It's some weird folks out here, bro.
I try to tell you.
It's some weird folks. So
you
watch
gotta,
yourself.
Yeah, you gotta, try to
Pick
weed
your
that
couples
out.
wisely.
Yeah, pick your couple wisely. Because we're both in the Emerging 100 of Atlanta together. I found out about it through him.
Yeah.
Got invited to do, what was it, a panel or something?
panel,
Yeah, it was a panel. I was like, oh, this
Yep.
is dope. I ain't knew nothing about this.
Yeah.
And then from there, I was like, I'm a little intrigued.
Yeah.
And then
It was seamless.
Yeah, it
Yeah, you
just happened.
came right
Yeah.
in on in.
Yeah,
It's been Emerging has been good, building relationships with other Black men from all kinds of professions and, all centered around like mentorship and giving back and community service. So that's been a great community. I knew that you would do great in that community just from, what's important to you.
Right.
But yeah, I was helping out with a college event, and then I hit you up because you obviously, as a recruiter at a big company, felt like you had a lot of great advice to give young students to help them navigate college and careers.
Yes, sir.
You came. Our other mutual friend came. Crystal came and represented well, and then
Carlos.
came. Everybody came. So that was like my first thing that I kind of initiated in Emerging, like that I kind of helped organize. So I really appreciate y'all for coming out and helping with that, and glad it led to you now being in Emerging, and again, just another example, y'all. Connections. That's it.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I walked in that interview. I said, Jordan about to interview me and ask me questions. I wouldn't laugh so bad, boy.
Man, look, that's crazy. Like I was like, boy, you came in there clean though.
Yeah,
bro.
I made sure to be clean.
You look good. I said, yeah, Corey good though. Everybody loves you, bro.
I only had met. Well, I only knew you, and then I think who else I knew? Kyle at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Those. Yeah.
And then people kind of knew you from the event.
From the event.
So they knew of you. So it was a seamless process for you, man.
It was good. I was like, hopefully I'm walked out of there. I felt good walking. Like sometimes when you interview, you be like,
Bro, it was early. It was early. That's one thing. I remember
early.
you came. The interview started like 7:30. I was like, yeah, I told you I don't do early stuff, y'all. So 9 o'clock is my limit. I don't get out the bed till 8:50.
But since we kind of talk like professional stuff, I know you pivoted from technically recruiting to another area.
Yeah.
How's that been going for you? Like, do you miss anything about recruiting?
Nope.
That man said that joke.
Nope. Nah, it's good, man. I'm recruiting. I feel like recruiting is something you can't like do recruiting forever, bro. It'll wear you out.
It will, man.
It's
like on a hamster wheel.
Yeah, you're on a hamster wheel, man. So I think my recruiting time was great, but I am very fortunate to have been able to pivot into talent strategy, which is what I do now at Accenture. I manage a program that allows people without college degree, not allows, but provides access to people without college degrees. So we will bring them into Accenture through an apprenticeship model, which is like 12 months of them being able to learn on the job. And then once they finish their 12 months, they then can transition into a full-time employee. And while they're apprentices, their family members are getting benefits, and we're giving them access to continued education and all these really cool resources that position them just to like continue to grow in their careers. Once they've whether it's at Accenture or once they leave. So it's been good. It's been really fulfilling work. Recruiting was fulfilling. I think just the having to communicate so much with candidates, I think that can kind of become a lot of your time. Yeah, that could be a lot of your time. I like more of the strategic aspect of talent. So this role has been perfect for me, and I've been in it now for about 3 years.
Yeah, the communication with recruitment, Kenneth reaching out,
bruh.
you ain't talked to them about a year. Then reject them about a year ago. They still looking for roles.
Man.
Your inboxes always be filled, you know, just
they blowing your phone up.
Yeah.
Ah, man. The screens. You doing the screens, 30 minutes. Yeah. You might have 10 screens the whole day.
Yeah.
That's the whole day right there.
Yeah, that's the whole day right there.
And it's the same thing. You just
same questions
over and over. It's too much talking.
Taking notes.
Yeah, it's too much talking. So
shoot, yeah. And that's one thing pivoting back to like how in recruitment there's not many males.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I do feel like it's good for especially black men to be in recruiting, to be a seat at the table.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes if you didn't say yes on something or I didn't say yes on something, ain't nobody going to the next phase or getting an offer and stuff like that. So I do think it's needed.
Yeah.
But like he said, it's a grind.
Yeah.
It's a grind.
And that is the one thing I do appreciate about recruiting and kind of a little bit miss is like you really change some kids' lives. Like there's a lot of, especially like with us, like in the diversity, HBCU space, like we were meeting kids who were first generation who, you know, literally this is the first corporate job that they had ever received. Exactly. Like the compensation that they were receiving was like life changing for them. So
and they don't know much.
They don't know.
Sometimes you got to coach them on like what this really means.
Yeah,
like we give you this and this and this. Like, hey, you need to look at it like this.
Yeah. So that is one, and I to this day I have relationships with like some of the people that I've hired, and you know they still to this day like thank me and like just say how you know just impactful like our interactions was. So yeah.
Because even now at Google, I still do some of the same stuff because we do a compensation package of salary, equity, and bonus. Yeah. So usually I try to break it down as much as I can so they can really understand like this is what you use in the future, not just now, but this means X, Y, and Z, or this might vest at this time. And, and they don't be knowing none of that terminology. Heck, I ain't know none of that terminology.
Bruh, it's still terminology today. I don't know. You gotta, it's a lot.
You know, it takes people in the position that's willing to work and understand and meet you where you at. Because some people that just they get you that offer, you get it, you sign it, you don't, move to the next. But some people take the time to actually invest and pour into like your investment as far as like making a decision for one, and then even after you make the decision, to make sure that you are set. Like you good, you need some extra assistance. But yeah, man, that wraps up this video. I appreciate you again, Jordan, for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Great conversation.
I appreciate you,
memory lane.
Yes, sir. This was great. It really took me that memory lane.
Yeah, you done forgot some of the stuff. Like, wait, what? But that goes to show, like, when you build a relationship with somebody, like, it's so many memories, so many things that you go through that sometimes you might forget some stuff that you might have went through. So, like I said, technically you the first guy that I met in Atlanta, but second person overall that I met in Atlanta. So we go way back. Still going.
Yeah, still going. It's been good.
But yeah, appreciate you for coming on the channel. Any final words you want to leave the people before you leave, or you good? You straight?
Man, look, I guess I'll just say y'all keep y'all head up. It's hard out here right now in America. So just, stay faithful, keep your trust in God, and, just keep pushing through, and we'll get through it, man.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
He said it. Well, that's it for this video. Appreciate you again, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.
And I will catch y'all in the next video, next episode. So thank y'all for watching. Peace.
What the you think I do it for? Hey, looking in the mirror, you the GOAT. Hey, I've been out here grinding 24.